All right, Shalom. All praises due to Yahweh, Yahweh Ga'al, Yahweh Yasha. Before I get started, this is gonna be volume 2 of the series called Edom and Esau are not white people. But before I go into Genesis the 27th chapter in regards of Esau ruling by the sword, I'm gonna bring forward something that I forgot to mention in volume 1 in regards to the color of Esau. Because when you go back and check out Genesis 25 and 25, as well as Genesis 2 and 7, and as well as dealing with King David and King Solomon, when you go back and check out the word that describes their color complexions, it says ruddy. And ruddy is a brownish type complexion, which goes to show you that so-called white people are not Edomites that the Torah speaks about. So I'm going to go ahead and read Genesis 2 and 7 over here in the Torah. And it says, let's see. It says, "And Yahweh thy power formed man of the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul." So I'm going to just go ahead right now and see if I can find it and read it in the language over here. If you could bear with me for 1 minute. All right. It says, Wayadzar Yahweh Alahayim Ath Hahadam Adam Hafar Man Hadama. I'm going to stop over here. The word Adama. I'm going to read over there in the English again. "And the Lord God from man, Adam, of the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul." So we're going to look up the word ground in the language to see what it means. Because there's too many lies that's being taught right now amongst all these different groups out there by saying that white people or so-called white people are Edomites. So let's see. By the way, I'm coming out of the Strong's Hebrew Dictionary of the Bible. So we're going to look up the word Adama in our language. Okay. The word Adama that we read in Genesis 2 and 7, the root word of it comes from H119. Soil. Okay. Redness. Country, earth, ground, husbandman, and land. But I mainly want to be focusing on soil and redness. So we're also going to read H119 to look up the root word of the word Hadama. And it says to show blood. Now they're going off over here. Because I've said 1,000 times that these different lexicons and strong concordances, they do be going off. You just got to know how to decipher through all these different materials by going through the context of the scriptures, by reading the whole context of the whole chapter, and as well as linking up all the different precepts to determine on whether or not they're going off. Because that doesn't even correlate or coincide with Genesis 2 and 7. But I'm going to tell you what is, though. It says, "In the face, flush or turn rosy, be dyed, made red, ruddy." Ruddy. All these different words, you can also find out in Genesis 25 and 25. I already did the video yesterday. You can check out volume 1. I'm not going to go over all the different precepts, but those are all the different words, root word going all the way back to Adam, that describes Esau, that describes King David and King Solomon. So by process of elimination, if y'all saying that so-called white people are Edomites, then he will also have to say that Adam, David, and Solomon were also white. So I'm going to just jump down over here to, let's see, to 127. It says soil and redness. So I'm on Google Images right now, and I already typed in ground soil. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. All right. And as you can see, you can clearly see that the soil or the ground has a different texture. I don't know if you can see that one over here. That one looks pitch black. And look what it says over here. Hold on. It says red brown ground soil texture mixed. So this was Adam's complexion as well as Esau's. I'm going to go ahead and click on it. You see? Now get a white man out of that. Look what it says over here. It says red brown ground soil texture mixed. Get a white boy out of that. A picture is worth 1,000 words. But you got all these different camps out there, including myself at one point, at one time, who used to teach that white people, in my case, I used to teach that white people were Edomites. But when you go back and do a little bit of research, you start studying the scriptures, you're going into the language, which is something that most of these camps don't even like to go into, you're going to find out that that's false. That's a false ideology and a false lie. I'm going to go ahead and type in, let's see. Is it brown? Let me type in red soil, man. Let me see what comes up, man. Find this over here. There you go right here. So that's a cold cut, man. You can clearly see that the soil has a brownish type of texture. Get a white man out of that. Get a so-called white boy out of that. You see? You can't get a so-called white man out of that. I'm sorry. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more so I can show you. And it all correlates with the Torah. It correlates with Genesis 27. It also correlates with Genesis 25 and 25. It also correlates with King David and King Solomon being also described as what? As being ruddy. So all you young brothers out there in all these different camps and all these different congregations, y'all need to come up out of that and start doing your own research. You're going to find out that the leaders of all these different groups out there are liars. They're lying to all of y'all. You see? Get a white person out of that. The Torah and the scriptures is crystal clear. So-called white man is not Esau or Edom. That's a lie. You see? Look what it says over here. It says red soil. Alright, so I'm done with that. I'm going to start off with, I'm going to begin with the lesson. Because there's another scripture that all these different camps out there are still using till this day. They're trying to say that white people are Edomites. And the scripture that they like to utilize is Genesis 27 and 39. I'm going to read it right now. And it says over here, Genesis 27:39. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. Verse 40. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and I shall serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when I shall have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off his neck. So they're trying to utilize these two verses to trying to say that the Edomites, or the quote-unquote so-called white man, was going to take over all these different lands all throughout the four corners of the earth under the auspices of the gun under the auspices of weapons of mass destructions. Thus, that would give them credibility to be the Edomites that the Torah speaks about. Well, we're going to show you that that's false. Because now, we're going to go into strong concordance, and we're going to look at the meaning of the word earth. And it's H, let's see. It should be H 776, man. We're going to look at the meaning of the word earth. And reading it in its proper context. Let's see. All right, over here. Let me see. Let me see if I can zoom in. All right, I'm gonna just read it, man. It says H776 from an unused word. Unused root probably mean to be firm. The earth at large, or particularly a land. Common, a country. Earth, field, ground, land, nation's way, wilderness, world. I want to focus on all these meanings over here. A country, earth, field, ground, and land. The point I'm trying to make is this. When it speaks about in Genesis 27 and 29 and 39, that that dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, that was not talking about the whole world. That was talking about the land of Edom. It was not talking about throughout the four corners of the earth. Over here, it does say the word world, but what world was it? It was the world of Edom and the land of Edom. Because the word world in our language is tabal, man. And the strong concordance for that is number is let's see, it's H8398. Let me see if I can look it up right now. All right, H83. All right, right here. The word tabal, H8398, and it says the globe, land. But I mean, when we focusing over here, it says the globe. That's the word world in our language, tabal. The word tabal is not mentioned in Genesis 27 and 39. But the word earth is haratz, which represents a landmass, which represents the ground and field, or a country, or a region. You see that? So I'm going to go back to Genesis 27 and 39. And it says, and Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. So I'm going to go to Genesis 36 and 8. I'm going to link that up with precepts. This is Genesis 36 and 8. And it reads, thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir. Esau is Edom. And these are the generations of Esau, the father of the Edomites, in Mount Seir. So Genesis 27 and 39, when it speaks about the dwelling of the earth, that was dealing with the land of Edom. That was not talking about white people going around the world to conquer kingdoms with weapons of mass destructions and guns. You cannot find me any precepts in the Torah that can substantiate all of these claims and all of these falsehoods and lies. So that's a lie right there. So I'm going to go to another precept. Let's see. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna stop this video right now and I'm gonna come back for part two.